Once upon a time, this went wrong. Hero ready, feeling brave, chats his jump into cave. Sword looks sharp, brain looks gone, chat tight fast, we moved on. She had thoughts, they were nice, chat replaced them with bad advice. Heroes plan, heroes think, this one waits while chat debates. Milk or murder? Roll the dice, so no again. Why are we like this, friends? Strike a plan, any plan. Wait, no, not that one. Too late. Run. Dragon roars very loud, chat says flirt, hero bows. Ancient trap, skulls and fire, chat says dance, floor is lava. NPC warns don't do this, chat says bet, narrator quits. Chosen one, prophecy, no, this is crowdsourced stupidity. Roll the dice, make it count. Natural one, we blame sound. No control, no rickets, just fights, keyboards and poor. This is us, it sets. I would like to remind everyone, this is permanent. Quest begins, common sense dies, history will not be kind. Welcome all, enjoy the show if this fails. You already know. Roll the dice, oh no again. Why are we like this, friends? Try a plan, any plan, wait, no, not that one. Too late. Once upon a time, this went wrong. Hero ready, feeling brave, chats his jump into cave. Sword looks sharp, brain looks gone, chat tight fast, we moved on. She had thoughts, they were nice, chat replaced them with bad advice. Heroes plan, heroes think, this one waits while chat debates. Milk or murder? Roll the dice, so no again. Why are we like this, friends? Strike a plan, any plan, wait, no, not that one. Too late. Run. Dragon roars very loud, chat says flirt, hero bows. Ancient trap, skulls and fire, chat says dance, floor is lava. NPC warns don't do this, chat says bet, narrator quits. Chosen one, prophecy, no, this is crowdsourced stupidity. Roll the dice, make it count. Natural one, we blame sound. No control, no rickets, just fights, keyboards and poor. This is us, it sets. I would like to remind everyone, this is permanent. quest begins. Common sense dies, history will not be kind. Welcome all, enjoy the show if this fails. You already know. Roll the dice, oh no again. Why are we like this, friends? Tribal planet.
There we are. Hold on. Okay. It's time to continue today. Been looking forward to it. Had to keep myself occupied not to continue playing it. Because I got tempted multiple times. So, to get a little recap of what happened, I can do this. Hold on. This is kind of on the fly thingy, but where did I place it? Might have to zoom it out a bit. Oh. Ooh. Can I? Ooh. Okay, they'll have to do. That's fine. So, we didn't really get us into trouble. We made it into, what's it called? Brindlewatch. I was already confused with the other one that I'm playing. We figured out in a tavern that there's stuff happening to the town. There's horseshoes disappearing, there's noises, there's people being affected. We talked to one guy who heard his dead wife talking to him. And the last thing that we did is, hold on, let me close this. So the last action we did was, we went to the library, records room, whatever you want to call it. We were basically investigating what we're dealing with. If there's knowledge about it, like notes, journals, whatever it is. And we found out before we ended that it's like a water adjacent elemental. That it manifests where water once flowed, but it's not like, but it was cut off or sealed. Did it not flood or drown? They pressure, stress, fatigue, errors. Sound is their anchor. They don't speak first, they answer. So we should be fine if we don't talk to them, hopefully. And they were invited by neglect. So, I mean, that means we have to go to the old well, right, at some point. So we're still in the record room. We are gonna see where we're going. I think, honestly, I mean, we already went to the blacksmith. We investigated there. I think what we should do is should go to the old well, unless somebody else in chat has a location they want to go to. But I think at this point it's not really mentioning any other location that we've come across in any like journals, writings whatsoever. So I would say I head towards the old well. If anyone in chat feels otherwise, let me know. Head. Tread carefully. I tread carefully. I was just about to say, like, I'm just walking to the well. Tread carefully. Towards. Oh, we don't have to roll. Okay. Kaelin leaves the record house and he heads east, pace measured, boots finding the ground without rushing it. The east side of Brindlewatch thins as she walks. Houses give way to sheds, sheds to fencing. The road narrows. Its stones older here, darker, slick with moss. It never quite dries. The air changes, cooler. Dampen away rain alone doesn't explain. The old well comes into view. It sits just inside the fence line, half forgotten, half hidden by neglect. The stonework worn smooth by decades of hands and rope. The cap placed over it, it's newer than the well itself. That might be a good thingy to remember. Heavy wood reinforced with iron bands. Practical, rushed. Someone tried to seal a mouth without asking what it was saying. No one else is here. No guards, no townfolk, not even birds. The fence creaks faintly behind her, wood shifting in the breeze. The sound carries farther than it should. Kaelin feels it again. That sense of attention, sharpened now, not hostile, not welcoming, aware. The well does not make a sound, which somehow feels worse. She stands a few paces away, sword at her side, daylight still holding, but thinning by the minute. She has not acted yet. She has not searched, she has not spoken. The well waits to see which she chooses. What do we do next? I think it would be rushing if we already, like, open the lid up, right? Hey, Oracle, you're just in time. We just made it to the well. We just got there. So far, nothing really happened. We're trying to see what is going on. So far we found out that there's, like, not even birds around, that there's a lid on it that's been put on there, like, very fast. Okay, carefully examine. Okay. Carefully examine the exterior of the well. That's gonna have me throw my dice for sure. Kaelin steps closer, eyes on the stonework. Intent precise. She is examining the exterior of the well for markings, wear, repairs, symbols, or anything that shouldn't be there. Okay, let's see. Damn, a 7. The stone of the well is cold under Kaelin's touch. She circles it slowly, eyes... Yeah, true. We have to be careful. She circles it slowly, eyes tracing the old masonry, fingers following the grooves where rope once wore the stone smooth. The exterior tells a plain story. The well is old, older than most buildings still standing. The stones are original. No sigils carved, no ritual markings, no warding runes pretending to be decoration. The cap is new, but badly fitted. Iron bands bite into the stone that was never meant to be bound that way. What she doesn't find matters more. There are no warning symbols, no prayers scratched into the stone, no offerings left behind, which suggests something uncomfortable. If this well ever needed respect, the town forgot that part long before it forgot the danger. There is one oddity. At the base of the well, half hidden in moss and damp leaves, Kaelin notices a shallow groove in the stone. Not from rope, too narrow, too deliberate. It runs in a loose circle around the well, worn down by repetition, not weight, as if something once moved around it over and over and over. The air is still, too still. Kaelin stands close enough now that, if she wanted to, she could touch the iron cap. She hasn't yet. The well waits. What does she do next? Look around the ground for any marks? Okay. Alright, look around. Grimmy just want me to throw my dice. Kaelin lowers her gaze and scans the ground around the well, intent focused on marks, tracks, drag signs, disturbances. This is no casual glance. She's reading the earth, trying to make it confess. Okay. Come on. That's a 4. Might not be this lucky. We'll get them bad rolls out now. Well, the ground refuses to be helpful. Kaelin studies the earth carefully, but the rain has done its quiet, thorough work. Mud is smootheth, leaves are pressed flat. Any tracks that might once have been here have been blurred into succession. What remains is a negative space. No footprints linger long enough to read. No drag marks survive the weather. No signs of recent digging or struggle. And yet, the ground feels used. The grass closest to the well is thinner, trampled in a way that doesn't match traffic. Not paths, not shortcuts, just repeated presence in the same small radius. As if something stood there often or paced. There's one thing Kaelin notices. Not because she finds it, but because she doesn't. No insects, no birdsong, no small signs of life. The well is quiet, centered in a town that otherwise makes noise. She stands at the edge of it, sword at her side, daylight still clinging to the sky but starting to lose the argument. The iron cap looms above the well mouth, sealed but not bound. And somewhere deep below, something that learned to listen may be waiting to hear whether she speaks. What do we do next? Okay, so basically it's dead silent there. Can be good. Okay. Alright, place my hand very gently on the well without making a sound. Okay, I'll combine them. And look at the fencing close to it. Kaelin places her hand gently against the stone of the well. No knock, no scrape, just skin to cold rock. Careful enough to not to announce herself. Then her attention shifts to the fencing nearby, eyes searching for damage, repairs, disturbance, or signs of repeated stress. That combination counts as an environmental investigation. Okay, we'll roll. Ooh, 19. We're getting there. The world answers carefully. Kaelin's palm rests on the well stone, light enough that even the moss isn't disturbed. The cold isn't uniform. The stone beneath her hand is colder at the seam, where the iron cap meets old masonry. Not damp cold, deep cold. Like something below remembers winter better than the sky does. She shifts her focus to the fence, and there it is. Several fence posts closest to the well are newer than the rest, replaced recently. The replacements are subtly wrong, set a fraction off angle as if the ground resisted them. At the base of 2 posts, the earth has been compressed outward, not inward, as though something pushed it up from below and the builders tamped it back down in a hurry. And Kaelin notices the marks. On the inside-facing boards of the fence, low to the ground, are scoring lines. Not clawed, not cut, polished. Stone on wood contact. Repeated. Carefully. Something has moved in a slow circle between the well and the fence. Close enough to brush both. Over and over. Wearing the world down by patience alone. As her hand rests on the well, she feels it. Not a voice. Not a thought. A pressure shift. Like air being pulled inward somewhere far below. Entering contact rather than sound. The well does not react violently. It does not lash out. It simply acknowledges. For a brief moment, Kaelin has the distinct certainty that if she were to speak right now, the well would not misunderstand her. The fence creaks softly behind her, responding to nothing but tension. This place was never meant to be sealed shut. It was meant to be kept company. Kaelin Ironhart stands with one hand on a stone, proof under her boots, and a choice forming whether she wants it to or not. She has not triggered combat. She has not broken the charter. But she is now seen. What does she do next? Yeah, an invitation to open the lid, right? So something has been pacing between the fence and the well. Okay, I will open the lid, but do you want me to open it a certain way, as in like respectfully, like calm, quiet, like... I mean, we are seen, we haven't triggered any combat yet, but... God knows if we piss this thing, or whatever it is, off. Unless you want to throw me in a battle, of course. That's all up to you. Or do you want me to like look down in the well, or just open it and see what happens? I think the bracer of the fence struck deep and hit something it shouldn't have. We might need to go down to the well to have a look. Let's respect it for now and ask gently. Okay, I'm gonna combine both of yours. So, I take water, trickle on the cap, the well, or removing it gently, and then I'll ask, depending on what it says, I'll ask what the problem might be. Ooh, we get a strength modifier. Okay, I was already reading. Kaelin brings out her flask and lets a thin trickle of water run over the iron cap. No splash, no pour, just enough to acknowledge what the well once was. That part is flavor and intent. It carries meaning, but it does not yet force an outcome. But the next part does. Removing the cap is a direct interaction with a sealed object tied to danger, uncertainty, and potential consequences. It alters the environment in a way that cannot be undone quietly. As per charter, the world stops here. The water beats and runs along the iron. The well feels attentive. Nothing reacts yet. So, we need to roll a d20 And we get a +4 strength modifier. Let's see. Oh, thank God, because I rolled a natural 1. It's a 5. Otherwise, it would have been something. Okay. We'll see what happens. No, not a 9. Hold on. We'll... Guess it's adding it on its own. We'll do this. I already added it to it. Didn't know it was going to do it for me. The cap does not come free cleanly. Damn it. Her grip slips on a rain-slick iron just as she shifts her weight. Not clumsy, just resisted. The cap jerks, scraping hard against the stone lip instead of lifting. Iron screams against the masonry. The sound is sharp, loud, wrong. Too loud. The iron band catches, twists, and the cap drops back into place with a hollow thum that echoes straight down the well shaft. Oh, for fuck's sake. And the well answers. Not with a roar, not with an explosion, with sound. From deep below comes the unmistakable noise of stone grinding against stone. Slow and deliberate, rising upward like something waking and stretching after being addressed rudely. Yeah, I didn't mean to. The air around the well pressurizes. Kaelin's ears pop. The fence board creaks inward. Loose pebbles skitter toward the well mouth as if the ground has developed an opinion. This is no longer passive attention. This is a response. Combat is imminent. Not yet begun. But the world is lining up the pieces. Dust lifts from the well mouth in a tight spiral, moving against gravity. The iron cap rattles, no longer still, vibrating under Kaelin's hand like a held breath. Kaelin Ironhart has provoked something ancient, patient, and very aware. For the charter, combat has not yet started. No actions resolve without player input. This moment is unresolved and dangerous. She has a heartbeat. Maybe two. What does Kaelin do? I don't know. What is does something make sense to you why it should be a stone elemental? I mean, we already, like, it's building up, so I don't know what you guys think, but I think asking them what might be the problem, we either piss them off even more, or we diffuse the situation, depending on how good or bad I roll. But, I mean, we don't have much options, well, besides running away, but, you know, I'm not gonna do that. That would be, oh well, game has ended. Sorry, not sorry. I'm tempted to just, like, talk to it. I mean, we're gonna be fighting them. If we don't do anything, it's gonna get to that point, I think. Okay, I can apologize. Yeah. Apologize to whatever is down in the well, or the lid misbehaving. I didn't mean to offend them. Wispy bellow. Kaelin speaks softly, steadying her breath, words chosen with care rather than volume. An apology, an acknowledgement, no command, no demand. That is direct interaction with an active, aware entity under uncertain and dangerous circumstances. Your intent is to de-escalate and appease. As per the charter, the world pauses before it decides how the apology is received. The grinding slows, but does not stop. Dust still spirals, the cap still trembles. Okay, we'll have to throw a d20. Okay. 15. That might be taken. Oh, whisper hello. Oh. Wow, Grimmy. I was like, maybe is this like, you know, a British slang or something for something? I don't know. The apology lands. Oh, thank God. Not like forgiveness, like recognition. The grinding sound slows, each movement stretching out until it becomes a distant, patient rasp instead of an advance. The dust spiral loosens, falling back toward the stone lip in lazy arcs. Pebbles that had begun to creep inward settle, embarrassed, as if they leaned too far. The iron cap stops rattling, not fully still, but no longer angry. From below comes a sound that is not a voice, yet unmistakably communicative. A low, resonant echo, like water moving through a cavern that remembers being full. It does not form words. It does not need to. The pressure eases. The fence exhales. Wood straightens. The air warms a fraction, enough that Kaelin's breath no longer fogs. What Kaelin feels through her hand on the stone is restraint. The one thing below the well did not want to be woken violently, but it did want to be acknowledged. A sense presses back, heavy and slow, carrying meaning the way tides carry weight. It remembers when water was given freely. It remembers being listened to, not sealed. It is not bound by the cap, only irritated by it. This is not a creature looking to kill. It is a presence that has been ignored too long, nudged awake by careless repairs and lauded by frustration. Combat does not begin. Not today. Not yet. Oh, thank God. Kaelin Ironhart stands at the well, apology accepted in the only currency that matters here. Respect. The situation remains dangerous, but no longer explosive. The well waits again, and this time, it is waiting to see what Kaelin does with intention. What does she do next? It's already like the second time, I think, that it got mentioned. It remembers when water was given freely. It makes me wonder if the water to the well dried up and that is causing something to be pissed off. Because I assume if it's dried up, then, I mean, people are not going to use the well anymore, so it's being locked up. Water and rocks might be something more than just an element, or they were moved by the faint rumble. Yeah. I mean, we can try to talk to it now. It's calmed down, but... I mean, I can ask. Reminds me. Did they seal the water way when they worked on the fence? Yes, indirectly, and that distinction matters. When the east fence was repaired about a month ago, the workers dug deeper than planned, because the ground was unstable. In doing so, they collapsed and compacted an old runoff channel that once fed excess groundwater toward the well. Oh, there we go. Nothing dramatic, no announcement, no record that says, we seal the waterway. But effectively, the well had already been capped earlier. The fence work then cut off the last natural seep, the slow, constant trickle that kept water moving even when the well wasn't in use. The ground was tamped down hard afterward, locking everything in place. So yes, the waterway was sealed not by intent, but by convenience and weight. Which explains several things you've seen. Why the presence grew restless only recently. Why sound became its anchor instead of flow. Why it reacts to water offered even in small amounts. Why capping alone aggravated it instead of containing it. Brindlewatch didn't silence the well. It left it thirsty. Kaelin now stands knowing the core mistake was not malice or summoning, but forgetting that some things are meant to move. What does she do next? I think I don't know, the only way that we should be able to fix something that caved in is like going down the well and see where it leads to and dig it open. I don't know. Or ask the well or whatever is down there how that we can help them in any way. It left it thirsty. Down. Would you talk to it first, or would you just go down and see what it is? I don't know how easily offended this presence or whatever it is gets, but... Yeah, I think asking permission is the best thing, because it was like mentioning respect before. So I look downwards into the well and ask allowed to climb down to help them in any way. If we try and unseal the wall, they might cause the fence to fall, and they might go and seal it off again by fixing it. If we perhaps get some tubing, we might work into the wall without damaging the structural integrity, and water could flow again. Yeah, that might be a good... But then again, we need to go down the well to see how big the collapse is. But tubing might be a good thing, because, you know, then you're right. If it's gonna collapse again, it's gonna be rinse and repeat kind of thing. But we'll see. We'll ask permission and see what it responds. Okay. Kaelin leads forward, just enough to look down into the well, careful not to scrape stone or iron, and ask her question plainly. Not a demand, not a promise, an offer. This is direct communication with an aware entity under ongoing risk. You are seeking consent and guidance, and the answer is uncertain. The well is quiet again, not empty, listening. Uh-oh, let's see. 20, come on. 11. We'll see. Hopefully that's enough. The well does not reject the idea. It also does not welcome it. Oh, damn it. From below comes a slow, measured sound, not grinding this time, more like stone settling, as if something heavy adjusted its posture. The air within the shaft shifts, carrying a cool, mineral scent upward. Then a response. Not words, never words. A change. The pressure Kaelin felt before eases further, drawing downward instead of outward. The space just inside the well mouth feels open. Not safe, but allowed. Okay. Whew. She gets the clear impression of conditional consent. Dissent is permitted. Noise is not. Okay, we need to be quiet. Force will not be tolerated. Assistance is acceptable only if it restores flow, not control. Okay, we need to keep an eye on these rules. Hey, Mr. Teds, welcome in. This is also a warning folded into permission, heavy and unmistakable. This place is narrow. Stone remembers weight. Those who descend must be prepared to listen more than they act. Okay. We need to remember that too. The iron cap vibrates, then stills completely. The air around the well grows calm enough that Kaelin's breath sounds loud by comparison. She has been allowed closer. Climbing down would be a dangerous physical action with high risk and consequence, requiring preparation and a roll before descent. Alternatively, she could step back, gather tools, rope, or allies, or try to solve the problem from above. The well waits. Patience. Again, what does Kaelin do next? I don't think we went to a shop and bought like supplies, did we? Oh, yeah, good. Because if we didn't go, we might have to go back and already go for like rope, candles, tubing in case that we need it. Get all that stuff before we go down there. I let whatever is down there know. No, I don't have any, I think. Hold on, let me check what I have in my inventory. This. Okay, so in my inventory, I have caltrops, I have a crowbar, I have oil, I have rations, I have rope. I have a tinder box, I have 10 torches, and I have a water skin. But we don't have tubing, but honestly, I don't know if it would be smart to go down and check first and then come back up for rope and go back down, or go for rope for tubing, or we go first to get tubing and then go down once and see what happens. That's up to you. Whatever is down there, know that my intention is to look for a way to restore the flow water. See what it says. Kaelin does not move closer. She doesn't reach for the rope or stone. She simply states her intent, clearly and without theater, to restore the flow of water. This is direct communication with an aware presence whose response will shape what it allows next. You are not demanding. You are not acting yet. You are asking to be understood. For the charter, this requires a roll before the well decides how it receives that intent. Wow, to learn how to read. The air in the shaft tightens slightly. Not hostile. Focus. Okay, we're not getting any modifiers. Oh. Persuasion check, we'll see. Oh, 12. Not bad. Hopefully that's enough. Ooh. The well accepts the idea, not with warmth, with assessment. From below comes a slow, resonant shift, like deep water adjusting its level far underground. The sound carries meaning the way old structures carry memory. Not approval, not refusal, alignment. Kaelin feels it clearly now, through the stone and the air between breaths. Restoring flow is understood. Restoration must be physical, not symbolic. The water does not need to be owned, purified, redirected, or named. It needs to move again, even imperfectly. A subtle sensation follows, not a pull, not a command, a direction. Not straight down the well, but east-northeast, deeper than the fence line, where the ground was compacted. where runoff once found its way naturally before tools and posts and repairs told it to stop. The well does not ask Kaelin to climb. It does not forbid it either. But the impression is clear. Descending is not the solution. Listening to the land above is. The present settles, patient again, but no longer passive. It is waiting for follow-through. Kaelin Ironhart now knows what must be done, broadly, if not yet precisely. Find the collapsed runoff, break the seal that stopped the slow seep, let water remember how to travel. How she accomplishes that, and whether she does it alone, quietly, or with resistance from the town, remains entirely her choice. The moment is stable, no combat, no immediate danger, but the land has been pointed at. What does Kaelin do next? We haven't climbed down yet, so we're still at the edge of the well. Good thing that we asked this, because otherwise we would be climbing down and it's not even the solution. So it's pointing us east-northeast, deeper than a fence line, where the ground was compacted. I think the only thing we can do is head towards that direction and investigate it. The water does not need to be owned, purified, redirected, or named. Okay. I don't know why you would name water, but... I would say I head towards the location where the ground is compacted and investigated. Kaelin turns away from the well and follows the felt direction, boots carrying her east-northeast towards the stretch of ground disturbed during the fence repairs. Her intent is clear, to investigate the compacted earth and find where the runoff was sealed. This is a focused environmental investigation with the goal of uncovering hidden physical truth. Okay. No modifiers? Yeah. We probably have to. Ooh, 17. I mean, but adding a, asking for a permit, we might, trigger people to, rebel, as they are not really a fan of the well. This time, the ground tells the truth. Oh, thank God, that's a good one. Kaelin shows her pace as she reaches the stretch just beyond the east fence, where newer posts bite into older earth. At first glance, it looks like competent boring work, tamped soil, reinforced footing, the sort of thing people congratulate themselves for finishing on time. Then she looks closer. The soil here is too dense compared to its surroundings, compacted far beyond what fence posts require. Small stones have been crushed into unnatural flatness, pressed downward rather than settled. A faint line runs beneath the surface, visible where rainwater falls to soak in evenly. A ghost of a path. Kaelin kneels and presses her hand to the ground. Cold. Deeper than it should be. She follows the line with her eyes. It curves gently, once guiding water downhill toward the well before being forcibly interrupted. Right where the fence repair dug deepest, the earth has been collapsed inward, not filled naturally. This wasn't just sealed, it was pinned shut. With your roll, you also notice something else, something important. Ooh, scrolling the wrong way. At the edge of the compacted section, half hidden by grass and mud, is a layer of older stonework. Not fence related, not part of the well. A buried runoff channel lined with fitted stones, old and careful. Someone once built this to guide the water gently, deliberately, respectfully, and someone else crushed it without realizing what it was. The channel is still there, damaged but not destroyed, which means restoring flow is possible. Not easy, not quiet, but possible. Kaelin Ironhart now knows exactly where the land was wronged and what must be undone. The next step will involve physical alteration of the ground, digging, breaking compacted earth, shifting stones. That will carry risk, noise, potential reaction from both the town and what listens below. But the path is clear. What do we do next? So we have a buried runoff channel that's been there way before the fence was there, apparently, which has been crushed, and it's probably the reason why there's no water. So, Oracle, you say that of course we need to get digging tools, because I don't have any, and a permit to add some changes. It's like how it says, potential reaction from both the town and what listens below. Would you risk to get a permit, or would you just get digging tools, play stupid in the shop, and then do it without them noticing it? Be sneaky about it. Because we can do this, like, ask a permit and whatnot, and see what happens. Or we can do it ourselves and just, be sneaky about it. Because I don't know, we didn't interact with people long enough to get, like, quote-unquote companions or party members or whatnot to help us dig. So I know we have to do it ourselves. But I don't know. And also, where do we go for a permit? Is that like a town hall or like the record room? Because I have no clue where I would go for... I mean, we can ask in the tavern, but... I mean, I can already head towards the... Or we can... What we also can do is investigate the buried runoff channel a bit more. See what happens. Or what we can find about it. Because it's like half hidden by grass and mud. I mean, we can remove the grass and mud and see what the, like, buried runoff channel is. Just to get an idea. Let's see. 2D. Okay, I will invest. Yeah. I think they wanted to stop, but I think it might also be a risk if we're gonna be stating like, hey, we're gonna be digging in the well, that it's like they're gonna be not so happy about it, just in case stuff gets worse. Because I mean, we are gonna make noise, and knowing how I roll, we might piss it off even more. So hold on, we coded a buried runoff channel, and in investigate it more. The mud and grass. Okay. Kaelin kneels at the edge of the buried runoff channel and starts clearing mud and grass with her bare hands, carefully, deliberately, trying to expose more of the stonework without collapsing it. This is a hands-on investigation and physical interaction with the environment with real risk. The channel could crumble, shift, or react once uncovered. Okay, we get no modifiers. Come on. We can screw this up, guys. If I roll badly. 14. Okay. The earth yields without fighting you. Kaelin works slowly, fingers numb with cold mud, peeling back grass and packed soil a little at a time. She doesn't dig, she listens with her hands, feeling where stone resists and where it wants to be uncovered. The runoff channel emerges in sections, carefully fitted stones, rounded by decades of water rather than tools. A shallow slope bed designed for steady seep, not rush. Lichen still clings to the stone in places where moisture never fully left. You find the problem quickly. About a forearm's length in, the channel has been crushed downward by the fence work above. Not shattered, pressed. A heavy plug of compacted earth and broken stone sits where water once slipped through patiently. And you feel it the moment your fingers brush the blockage. A subtle response. Not alarm, not anger. Attention turning toward you again. Uh-oh. The air cools. Somewhere behind you, the fence gives a soft, complaining creak. From the direction of the well, there's a distant low resonance. Not sound exactly, more like agreement waiting to happen. You also notice something important with this roll. Clearing the blockage will require strength, but not brute force. Removing it too fast could collapse the channel further. Doing it slowly, stone by stone, would let water return gradually. This is the right place. You're doing the right thing. But the next action will change the state of the land. No combat has begun. Nothing is attacking. But once water starts moving again, everything will react. Kaelin Ironhart kneels in the mud, with the truth under her hands and a choice in front of her. Do you begin clearing the blockage now, or do something else first? I mean, removing it too fast could collapse the channel further, so that's not an option. So, clearing the blockage stone by stone slowly seems more like a better way. But would we do it with our bare hands, or would we go and get digging tools? Because I don't know if we use digging tools if it's like louder than if we use our bare hands. Because even though we're not, like, in the well, I still feel that we need to be careful with, like, noise. Especially not making it collapse. That's very obvious. And I didn't expect that we would be, like, uncovering stuff so much. I thought we were just, like, clearing to get a view, but apparently we're already, like, 4 arms length in. and we should be able to get it removed, so... But make sure to steady the rocks and the channel. Okay. Yeah, I have to state that. I clear the blockage slowly, stone by stone, and make sure to steady the rocks and the channel. Here we go. This is either gonna go good or bad. We must be careful. Yeah. Kaelin commits to it. She doesn't rush. She doesn't pry. She works the blockage free stone by stone, hands steady, body angle to brace the channel as she goes. Careful pressure, patient adjustments. Letting the land tell her which piece wants to move next. This is a physically demanding, high-risk environmental action with consequences if done poorly. Okay, we get a strength modifier. This roll will determine whether the channel will hold, whether the water returns cleanly or violently. Oh, Lord. Whether the land accepts the restoration or resists it. Do not narrate the outcome yet. Roll the die and tell me the results. Okay, and we need to remember to just fill in the result that we put in. Ooh, 12. That's gonna be a +4. Strong. Careful. Enough. Kaelin eases the first stone free, then the next. Each one comes away with a muttered thud. The sound of earth releasing something it's been holding against its will. She braces the channel with her forearm, shoulder set, letting strength serve patience instead of ego. The channel holds. Oh, thank God. When the final packed stone loosens, it doesn't collapse. It sighs. At first, nothing happens. Then a thin line of water appears. Not a rush, not a surge. A careful seep darkening the stone as it remembers a job. The water finds a slope and it follows it. Slipping east to west. Downhill toward the well, like it's always known the way. The ground responds immediately. The cold pressure lifts, replaced by a deep, steady cool. The fence post nearest the channel settle a fraction, tension bleeding out of them. From the direction of the well comes a low, resonant sound. Not grinding, not movement, contentment. The flow increases slightly, still gentle, still respectful, enough to matter, not enough to harm. Kaelin feels it then, not gratitude. Exactly, more like release. The presence, the presence below the well recedes. Not gone, resting, listening, less intently now that it no longer has to strain for sound. No combat, no backlash, no sudden disaster. Brindlewatch exhales. The land accepts what Kaelin has done. She kneels in the mud with water moving again, hands aching, heart steady, having fixed something old without claiming it. The problem is not gone forever, but it is no longer urgent, and the town will feel the difference before it understands it. Kaelin Hart has restored flow. What does she do next? Do we check the well? Do we... God knows what? Because the well is now, like, there's a noise of contentment. I mean, we can also go back into town, see if people already notice a difference. Okay. I go to the well and ask. What more? Kaelin returns to the well, steps close enough to the stone, feels familiar now, and asks the question plainly. What more needs to be done? This is direct communication with an aware presence that has already responded once, and whose answer may guide further action. The water continues its quiet seep. The air is calm but attentive. The well is listening again, not strained this time, but curious. Okay, no modifiers? Oh, shoot. It's a 3. The well does not explain itself. It does not withhold out of spite. It withholds out of finality. Kaelin's question settles into the stone and water, and what comes back is not guidance, but closure. From below rises a deep, slow resonance, like a cavern accepting a new equilibrium. The sound carries no urgency, no hunger, no curiosity. Only this meaning, heavy and unmistakable. Enough. The flow has been restored, the balance corrected. What was owed has been paid in action, not words. There is no list of further tasks, no demand for offerings, no request for continued attention. The presence does not want maintenance. It wants respect and movement, and it has both again. As Kaelin stands there, she feels the last threads of tension loosen. The air warms. The well becomes what it was meant to be. Not a mouth, not a watcher, just a place where water passes through stone. If more is ever needed, the land will make it known the way it always has. By pressure, by imbalance, by things going quietly wrong again. For now, Brindlewatch is no longer being listened to. Kaelin Ironhart stands at the well with mud on her hands and the rare certainty that she stopped something without needing to kill it. The town will notice the change by tomorrow. What do we do next? I have a feeling that this is like way too easy, right? Like, yes, we fixed the well problem, but I don't think it's gonna be it. Because otherwise it would be I mean, it could be technically a D&D one-shot, but I don't know. I have a feeling there's gonna be more to it. So the well does not want us to do anything more. It has what it wants. It has closure. It has respect. It has movement. We can either go to the town, or to the tavern, not say anything yet, and just wait till tomorrow and see what happens. Or we play it bold, and we go to the tavern and we boast about it. I mean, we tell the people what we did before they notice the change and see what happens. Because, I don't know, I think we do have to tell the people at some point in case they go, you know, quote unquote making repairs again. They should leave the land alone, basically. Because otherwise it's gonna be rinse and repeat. Because I don't know if we ask. I mean, that would be, in my opinion, right, a stupid choice to ask the well again what the original agreement is. Because I don't think it's gonna be. Oh, true. We need to fill a report. I recommend they don't disturb the channel again. Okay. Yeah, let's be gentle to the well. I always forget that part. I'm like, oh, I'm out. I did my thing and just leave without saying anything. I need to remember that when I'm playing with Andy at the end of the month. To be nice. I wish the well and head back towards the tavern for a well-earned drink. I think it's also close to evening, I think. I think it said something that daylight was going. Kaelin rests a hand on a stone one last time. Not a ritual, no flourish, just a quiet wish offered without expectation. The well does not answer, which feels right. She turns away and heads back toward the cinder and cup, boots carrying a little less weight than before. The east side of Brindlewatch already feels different. Not cheerful, not fixed, but settled. As she walks, she notices small things beginning to realign themselves. A fence post creaks, then stills. A trickle of water finds a path it hasn't used in weeks. Somewhere behind her, Stone stops listening. By the time the tavern comes into view, the afternoon light has softened. Well, it's afternoon and, well, better the evening. The sign sways gently, the cracked cup painted on it catching the sun just right, like it's pretending nothing ever went wrong. Inside, the barkeep looks up as Kaelin enters. She pauses, tilts her head. Huh, she says. Town's been quieter the last hour. A mug is already being poured. No questions asked, no coin demanded yet. Ooh, we're getting free drinks. True. Around the room, shoulders ease. Laughter comes easier. Someone swears when they spill a drink, and then laughs about it instead of snapping. Kaelin Ironhart takes her seat at the bar and accepts the ale. Cold, honest, earned. Whatever was listening beneath Brindlewatch is resting now. And for tonight, at least, the town remembers how to forget its fear. You've reached a natural pause point. When you are ready, we can let Kaelin join the tavern and see how the town reacts. Introduce consequences, good or bad, from what she's done, or let chat steer her into whatever trouble feels deserved next. What happened after the drink is up? I mean, we can already, like, ask. I mean, the barkeep already said that it feels different, but we can, like, see how the people in the tavern are acting, if they're different. And then we can, you know, get some sleep, and then go to the records room to fill a report. But I will definitely not be boasting. You are right about it. It would be different if it's like if we were fighting an ogre or like whatever, but I think if we would be boasting about it, since it's nature, I might have to deal with consequences. I think it's interesting that we get like free drinks as they don't know what we did kind of thing. But I mean, we can enjoy the evening and see if everything starts to go back to normal and people's happiness, and deal with the records tomorrow. Okay. I enjoy the evening and see if everything to normal. Ooh, learn how to type tattoo. That would be great. Kaelin stays. She does not pry. She doesn't test the quiet. She lets the evening happen. The tavern fills the way places are supposed to. Slowly, naturally. People drift in after work instead of fleeing from it. The smith arrives late, foot still on his hands, shoulders lower than they were this morning. Ooh, that's a good sign. He orders food, not ale first. That alone is new. Someone laughs near the hearth. A real laugh. It surprises even them. The barkeep keeps one eye on the room, then glances at Kaelin again, brow creasing faintly. Whatever you did, she says under her breath, not accusing. It stuck. Outside Brindlewatch behaves itself. No sudden noises, no doors slamming without reason, no looks over shoulders that last a heartbeat too long. The town isn't happy. It's tired. But it's the good kind of tired. The kind that comes after work, not after worry. As dusk deepens into the night, Kaelin notices something important. The absence is complete. No pressure, no sense of being observed, no wrongness lurking behind normal sounds. The well is quiet because it no longer needs to listen. By the time her mug is empty, Brindlewatch has slipped back into its usual rhythm, the way a body settles after a cramp eases. Not perfect, but livable. Kaelin Ironhart sits among strangers who don't know they were helped, and that's exactly how it should be. The evening passes without incident. For now, the ashes remember, but they don't burn. We'll hold here at the end of a good day and the start of a calm night. Whenever you're ready, we can advance to the next morning, introduce fallout rumors, rewards, or let chat nudge Kaelin towards her next trouble. So, as you said, we'll rent... Ooh, I forgot. Our room, we put the hair thingy on there. We can check if that was broken. Even though we technically only rented for... hold on. I ask the barkeep if our room is still available. Kaelin lifts her gaze to the barkeep and asks, easy and unassuming, whether the room is still available. That's an interaction meant to gain information and secure lodging. Okay, no modifier. We'll see. That's a 15, so that room is gonna be ours. The barkeep doesn't even check the ledger this time. Still yours, she says, hooking a thumb towards the stairs. Didn't have a rush tonight. Funny how that works. She studies Kaelin for a moment, then slides the key back across the bar anyway. Not because Kaelin needs it, because habits matter. Bed's been aired, alleys stayed quiet, no complaints from the room. Oh damn it, that means that they've been in there. A pause, then dry as old wood, which already puts you ahead of most. Around them, the tavern hums the way it's supposed to. Not loud, not tense, just alive. Someone's telling a story that doesn't involve fear for once. The fire pops in a friendly way. Even the sign outside creaks with less attitude. The barkeep adds, almost as an afterthought, breakfast on the house in the morning. Town's way of saying whatever it can't say. Ooh, free food. I'm not saying no to that. No questions, no accusations, no expectations. Kaelin Ironhart has her room for the night again. A full mug behind her, and a town that will sleep better without knowing why. The stairs wait, the room waits, and for once, the night doesn't feel like it's sharpening anything. What do we do next? Well, I mean, go up to our room I mean, if she already aired it, the hair is gonna be snapped, right? And see if the hair trap. Is it considered a trap? The hair thing, or is it more like a... It's not that it hurts you, though. It's, you know... I mean, there's no point in checking it, right? Because, I mean, she said she aired the room. And sleep. Kaelin takes the key, nods once to the barkeep, and heads up the stairs again. The tavern noise fades behind her, replaced by the familiar creak of old wood settling into night. Yeah. That's what she said. She aired the room, so it's like... I didn't know we were gonna come back. I should have, like, rented it for longer, but heyo. The room is exactly as she left it. No shifted chair, no broken hair across the doorframe. How could she be, like... air it then? Okay, whatever. No sense of intrusion. She locks the door, leaves the key in place out of habit, and lets the bed win without argument. Sleep comes easier this time. No pressure in the air, no listening stone, no name carried on the water that isn't there. Just the steady, unremarkable sounds of a town resting the way towns are meant to. Morning arrives quietly. I mean, it says no broken hair across the door frame, but the barkeep just confirmed that that she aired the room. How can you air the room if you don't go in there? Kind of thing. Well, guess that's ChatGPT being ChatGPT. Oh. Okay. Or the hair is missing. It has to be, right? Because there's no way that, like... I mean, maybe she cleaned the door frame first before going in or something. Could be. Sleep comes easier this time. No pressure in the air, no listening stone, no name carried on water that isn't there. Just the steady, unremarkable sounds of a town resting the way towns are meant to. Morning arrives quietly. Light spills through the shutters. The tavern below wakes with clatter and laughter instead of caution. Somewhere outside, water finds its path again without needing permission. Kaelin Ironhart wakes rested, sore in the honest way, and still alive. Brindlewatch holds. Next time, we can see how the town reacts in daylight, introduce rewards, rumors, or new trouble, let chat steer Kaelin toward her next chapter, or move her onward carrying Brindlewatch behind her like a place she fixed and left intact. I mean, we do have to go to the records hall to file a report. But first, I'm gonna get that free. We can get that free breakfast and see what the barkeep has to say about, like, potential, I wouldn't say rumors, but, like, if she noticed already the change. I grab my stuff and head downstairs to get our free breakfast from the barkeep. I'm gonna mention the free part because so she's not gonna scamming us into paying for it. How the night held, yeah. Kaelin gathers her gear, rolls the stiffness out of her shoulders, and heads downstairs with the quiet confidence of someone who earned their sleep instead of stealing it. Morning in the Cinder and Cup feels lighter. The barkeep spots Kaelin immediately and slides a plate across the bar before a word is exchanged. Eggs. Bread still warm. Something fried that refuses to explain itself but smells like good decisions. On the house, she says, as promised. Town's behaving. Figured we shouldn't question miracles. Around the tavern, Brindlewatch looks like itself again. The smith is already eating, laughing at something stupid and loud. A pair of guards argue cheerfully about whose turn it is to stand in the rain. Someone near the window complains about work instead of fear. Progress. The barkeep pours Kaelin a mug of something hot and pauses, just a second longer than necessary. You know, she says casually, folks slept last night. Properly, dreams and all. A faint smile. Haven't heard anyone mention the East Fence once. She doesn't ask questions. She doesn't need answers. Breakfast tastes better when nothing is watching you chew. Kaelin Ironhart eats well, packs up when she's ready, and sits in a town that will remember this week as the moment things stopped going wrong, without knowing why. When she stands to leave, Brindlewatch will keep going, and somewhere beneath it, water moves again. What do we do after breakfast? I mean, she already told us that, like, folks slept properly and how people are acting, so I would suggest to head towards the record hall. Oh, head towards record hall and file a report. Now, people need to leave the well and channel alone. And no... Okay. So I said I head towards the record hall and file a report that people need to leave the well and the channel alone. Kaelin finishes breakfast, shoulders her gear, and walks back toward the records hall while Brindlewatch is still properly awake. The building looks the same as before, quiet, patient, pretending nothing important ever happens inside it. Havern looks up as she enters. He doesn't ask why she's back. He simply reaches for a fresh sheet of parchment, already resigned to the idea that today will require ink. Kaelin dictates plainly. No drama, no monsters, just facts shaped like warnings. That the old well and its runoff channel are to be left alone. That further repairs, sealing, digging, or quote-unquote improvements near the east fence are strongly discouraged. That the area functions correctly only if left undisturbed. That interference causes complications. Havern listens, writes, his pen slows only once. Do you want me to mark this as advisory? He asks mildly, or historical? Kaelin answers settles it. He nods and adds a careful note in the margin, the kind clerks use when they know future readers will try to argue with the page. When it's done, he sands the ink and closes the ledger with deliberate finality. It will be read, he says, ignored by some, remembered by others. A pause. That's usually enough. Kaelin leaves the hall knowing the warning is now part of the town's bones. Not shouted, not enforced, but written. And that matters. Outside, Brindlewatch carries on. The well remains quiet. The water keeps moving. And the town, at last, has instructions it doesn't fully understand, would be wise to follow. Kaelin Ironhart has done what she came to do. The road waits again. What does she do next? I mean, if they would fuck it up and do repairs, that's on their fault. I don't think it would help them a second time. But remember on the previous episode, very early on, when we came to the gate of Brindlewatch, that there was a notice board with like, we were being pointed towards one piece of paper that's on there. I so want you to go back to the well, claim the well as yours, and declare it named this water Herbert Mungleford. We are gonna fuck them up by doing it, because we were not allowed to name it or claim it or whatever. But I'm not gonna lie, I've been, like, in the beginning we were constantly being pointed towards the notice board. It should help them mend mistakes if they commit one again. The report? Yeah. I walk towards the notice board at the gate and look at and see what's on there. Kaelin heads back toward the gate, boots finding the old mud ruts like familiar lines in a palm. The notice board hasn't improved overnight. Up close, it's worse. Waterlogged parchment curls like tired leaves. Ink bleeds into itself. Half the notices have been crossed out so many times they looked stabbed. She stands there and reads, no digging, no prying, just taking in what the town is willing to say out loud. Pins to the board. Wanted. A pair of goats. Last seen, deciding fences were optional. Reward offered. Tone accusatory. Notice. East fence repairs complete. Please stop checking on them. Signed by the council. Someone added lol in charcoal. Request. Caravan guard needed heading south in 3 days. Pay modest. Risk unspecified. That's never a good sign. Missing. Tools from the storehouse. Again. Whoever wrote this has underlined again 3 times. And 1 new notice, fresher than the rest, written in a careful hand. Thanks to the unnamed traveler, Brindlewatch wishes to remind all citizens that not every problem needs to be solved twice. Town Council. No name, no bounty, no explanation. Just a quiet acknowledgement pretending it's not one. The guards nearby look more relaxed today. One is eating an apple instead of staring into the middle distance. The gate stands wider open than it did yesterday. The road beyond stretches on, patient and familiar. Kaelin Ironhart stands between town and travel, reading a board full of small troubles, knowing she's already handled a big one. From here she can tear down a notice and make it her next problem, speak to the guards about the road ahead, or step past the gate and let Brindlewatch become a story she tells later, if she tells it at all. What do we do next? Wanted. A pair of goats. Last seen deciding fences were optional. Reward offered. Tone accusatory. Or we can do a caravan guard needing heading south in 3 days. Pay modest. Risk unspecified. I mean, tools missing from the storehouse. That's like, Or we can ask the guards to see what we can do. Or just leave and walk and see what happens. I know what Grimmy's gonna say. He's gonna go for the goats. It said, a pair of goats, last seen deciding fences were optional. Reward offered, tone accusatory. It didn't state where it was. The only thing that mentions the east fence is like the notice where it was said, east fence repairs complete, please stop checking on them. Signed by the council. Someone added lol. That would be like something if the goats... Probably, yeah. They jumped the fence. That would be something if they were the reason why the fences are... Like, if they were close to the well. But if they jumped the fence, then I don't know. So we can either go for the caravan guard needed heading south in 3 days, which pays, risk unspecified, or we can just... Yeah. Or we can, like, ask the guards or just walk. Just leave Brindlewatch and see what happens. I mean, we can ask the guards anyway, right? Before we take a notice or whatever it is. I asked the guard what's up the road ahead. Just like to get our bearings, because I don't know what's next to Brindlewatch. Kaelin turns to the guard and asks what's waiting up the road ahead. There's interaction meant to gain information about potential danger, travel conditions, or opportunities beyond town limits. Okay, no modifier. This roll will determine how honest the guard is, whether you get facts, rumors, or warnings, how far ahead the information reaches. Oh god, okay. A 9. Probably gonna be rumors. The guard shifts his weight, spear tips scraping softly against the ground. Road's a road, he says, which is never the full truth and never a lie either. He squints southward where the path bends out of sight between low hills and scrub. Couple quiet days travel mostly. Traders say the rain's been kinder out there than here. A pause. But there's talk. He leans closer, lowering his voice just enough to feel useful. Old watchtower about half a day down. Supposed to be abandoned. Folks swear they've seen lights there again. No attacks, no bodies, just lights where no one's meant to be. He shrugs, clearly unconvinced by his own words. Could be squatters, could be smugglers, could be someone who doesn't know the tower's supposed to stay empty. A faint grin. Or could be nothing. Roads do that. He strains, professional again. If you're heading out, best go with daylight, and if the tower is occupied, you will know soon enough whether if it wants company. The gates stand open. The road stretches on, and somewhere ahead, something has decided not to stay abandoned. Kaelin Ironhart stands at the threshold again, choices lining up like mile markers. Does she head down the road towards the watchtower, look for work tied to the caravan notice, or linger a bit longer in Brindlewatch? Now it breathes easier. Hold on. Didn't that tower go south? The caravan? Where did it go? Let me see. See, the caravan... There's a caravan guard needed heading south in 3 days. We probably come across the watchtower. But yeah, let's head towards the shop and get supplies. Good thinking, Oracle. I like it. Alright, turn back into town and head towards the shop for supplies. Because I have 25 gold, right? So we need to at least get some kind of income if we keep buying stuff. Kaelin turns back through the gate, letting the road keep its secret for a little longer, and heads into town toward the general shop. No rush, no tension, just preparation, the quiet kind that keeps people alive. Oh, good. Okay. That is actually good. Would you, agree to the notice? Because it leaves in 3 days and then, head towards the tower? check it out, come back and then leave with the caravan kind of thing. The shop sits near the center of Brindlewatch, broad-fronted and practical, with a bell over the door that actually works. When she steps inside, it rings once, clear and unafraid. Shelves line the walls, rope, rations, oil flasks, simple tools, nothing exotic. Everything useful, the sort of place that survives because it doesn't pretend to be interesting. Ooh. Oh look, Grimmy, it has no pants. The shopkeep looks up, middle-aged, sharp eyes, already recalculating inventory in their head. Morning, they say. You look like someone who knows what they need. That's rare. No one seems on edge. No sharp glances towards the door. Even the floorboards creak normally. Kaelin has time, coin, and a clear head. She can browse freely, ask questions, or request something specific. No roll required, yes, unless she starts digging for hidden stock, rumors, or leverage. What supplies is Kaelin looking to pick up? I mean, would have been funny if it mentioned, like, pants again, since we have a watchtower in this game as well. Oh, and then we get extra pay for it. Okay, so... I still have rope, I didn't use it, right? So I would get... Let me see, how many rations and stuff do I have? So I have 2 oil flasks. I have 10 rations, which should still be good. I have 20 caltrops. I have 1 rope, 1 tinderbox, 10 torches, and 1 water skin. Honestly, I would be tempted to ask for a quote-unquote hidden or like secret stash or something. I turn towards shopkeep and say, good morning. Do you have things to offer that aren't displayed? Kaelin turns to the shopkeep and asks a question the shelves never answer. Good morning, do you have things to offer that aren't displayed? That's a deliberate probe for a hidden stock or special goods. Polite, but pointed. Per the charter, the shopkeep does not answer freely. The bell over the door finishes its last echo. The shopkeep studies Kaelin's face, then her gear, then her hands. Persuasion check. This roll will determine whether the shopkeep trusts her enough to mention off-ledger items, whether what's offered is useful, rare, or merely not on the shelves, how honest the prices and explanations will be. Oh, he's gonna scam us. Or not. 13. Might be. Could be. Shouldn't be. The shopkeep's mouth quirks. Just a touch, not a smile, an acknowledgement. Depends who's asking, they say. Then glance towards the door, the windows, the perfectly innocent shelves. Satisfied, they step a little closer and lower their voice. I don't put everything out, they admit. Some things draw the wrong kind of attention. Some things just don't sell unless the buyer knows why they want them. They reach under the counter and produce a small list, not written down, just recited from memory like a prayer learned young. Extra rope, thinner and stronger than what's on display, doesn't fray when wet. 2 flasks of lamp oil, cleaner burn, less smoke, good for enclosed places. A sealed water skin, reinforced seams, for travel where water matters. Oh look, Grimmy, reinforced seams. A small pouch of chalk and iron fillings, bundled together. People laugh. Then they ask for more. And after a pause, one old climbing python. Been here longer than me, never needed it myself. They rest their hands on the counter again. Nothing cursed, nothing illegal, just useful if you're the sort of that notices when the ground remembers being moved. The price they name is fair. Maybe even a little kinder than it has to be. The shop is quiet. The town outside hums along, unaware of how close it came of being uncomfortable forever. Kaelin Ironhart stands with a choice of preparation in front of her, the road still waiting beyond the gate, and a watchtower down the way that may or may not want company. What does Kaelin buy, if anything? I'll ask for a grappling hook. I ask the shopkeep. Or is that something that we would get from the blacksmith? Do you have a grappling hook by any chance? Or know where I can get one? I'm gonna stay nice to him and see what happens. Kaelin asks about a grappling hook, casual in tone, specific in need. That's still an information gathering interaction, probing availability and connections rather than just stock on the shelf. The shopkeep pauses, eyes flickering briefly toward the back room, then toward the window, like they're checking whether the town is listening out of habit. Okay, no modifier, okay. The roll will determine whether the shopkeep admits one exists, whether they can sell it, source it, or point you to someone who can, whether it's proper adventuring gear or improvised local work. Oh, this is gonna be painful. A 5. The shopkeep exhales through their nose, thinking, then gives a small shake of the head. Not a proper one, they say. Nothing balanced. Nothing meant to take a fall without arguing about it. They gesture vaguely toward the shelves. Most folk here don't climb much. If they go up somewhere high, it's usually by mistake. Then they add, a little more quietly, but they lean an elbow on the counter. Smith could make one. Simple iron hook, 3 or 4 prongs. Wouldn't be pretty, but it'll hold. He'll complain, but he always does. Different tone lately, though. Less bite. A pause. Thoughtful. And if you're looking for something now, not later, the old watchtower down the road? A faint shrug. Used to have climbing gear back when it was staffed. Ropes, hooks, spikes. If anyone hasn't hauled it off yet, it'll still be there. They straighten again. Business face back in place. So, no grappling hook for sale. We are not without options. Kaelin Ironhart stands in a well-stocked shop with most of what she needs. A town that steadied itself, and 2 possible paths to the same tool. Either commission the smith, now that his hands and temper are his own again, or find one the hard way, out on the road where abandoned places rarely stay that way forever. The bell over the door waits to ring again. What does Kaelin do next? So, it could be or could not be in the watchtower. Might be wise to add a hushed tone when asking about under the count. True. But might be wise to get another water skin. Okay. So I will get the sealed water skin. And I will I still have I have 10 rations left. I haven't consumed any yet. But I can buy some extra. So, I... Stone. I'll get the sealed water skin. Water skin. And 2 rations. What is the price for all of this? Oh, question mark. Kaelin keeps her voice low, names the items cleanly, like she already knows the answer won't be shouted. The sealed water skin, the climbing python, and a few days' rations. Shopkeep's eye flicked down, doing the math without touching a scale or ledger. Finger tapped once on the counter. Habit, not nerves. This is an information exchange tied to trust and fairness, not just a posted price. Okay, persuasion check. Okay. This roll will determine whether the price is fair, friendly, or clipped. Whether anything extra is quietly added or omitted. Whether the shopkeep says something else while naming the price. Oh, that'd be a good one. Ooh, an 18. I take that. At least my rolling is better. I'll guess that the dice tray is doing its better work than the stupid mousepad. The shopkeep doesn't hesitate. They name a price that's fair, then quietly lower it. Ooh, for all of that? They say, voice just above a whisper. Call it 1 gold and 5 silver. They slide the items across the counter as they speak. The sealed water skin seems reinforced, stopper tight. Climbing python, old iron, solid weight, edges worn smooth by years of not failing. Sorry. 3 days rations, dried meat, hard bread, something sweet wrapped in wax that no one admits to needing. Then, almost as an afterthought, they add one more thing. A short length of chalk, snapped clean in half. No charge, they say. You look like someone who leaves marks on purpose. Wow. Okay, I don't know why he's getting that, but their eyes meet Kaelin's for a brief moment. Not gratitude, recognition. Road's easier when you're ready, they add. Harder when you're not. The bell over the door is quiet now, waiting for Kaelin to decide where she's going next. She's stocked, she's rested, and Brindlewatch is no longer holding its breath. What does Kaelin do next? Yeah, I think I got lucky that I rolled high, to be honest. Okay. Okay, so I'll leave the store, the shop, and then I'll look for the cavern leader to agree to the notice. I leave the shop with my new supplies and look for the caravan leader to agree to the notice. I don't even know if they're probably gonna be... Oh, well, yeah, pay for the... Oh, I was already leaving without paying, okay. I pay for the items and leave to the notice. That's something that I really need to think of. Like, I assume, like, oh yeah, I'll pay for it, sounds good, but I need to say it. That's why, like, I'm not used to this kind of stuff, but hey, I'm learning. Kaelin pays the coin without ceremony, shoulders her new supplies, and steps back out into Brindlewatch. The bell over the shop door rings once, satisfied. Town feels normal, which is still new enough to notice. She starts looking for the caravan leader tied to the notice. That means scanning the streets, asking the right kind of questions, reading who looks like they belong to wagons instead of houses. This is information gathering with intent. For the charter, Brindlewatch does not just point for free. Okay, no modifiers. This roll will determine how quickly she finds the caravan leader, whether she overhears useful context before meeting them, what sort of caravan this actually is. Okay. 15. Brindlewatch gives you answers without making you beg. Oh, that's a good one. Kaelin spots the caravan before she finds its leader. 2 wagons near the south end of town. Canvas patched but cared for. Horses calm in the way that comes from being handled by people who don't panic for sport. Crates stacked neatly. Guards chatting instead of arguing. A good sign. The caravan leader stands by the lead wagon, checking a ledger against physical reality. Human. Late 30s, maybe. Weathered but not worn out. The kind of person who learned early that roads punish optimism. When Kaelin approaches, they look up, eyes flicking automatically to her gear, then her stance. Assessment finished quickly. You hear about the notice, they say, not asking. Figured you would be. They close the ledger and offer a hand. Grip firm, businesslike. Name's Rellin. Heading south in 3 days. Dry goods, tools. Some letters people would rather not lose. A pause. Road's mostly quiet, but the old watchtower's been lit. Don't know by who, don't care, as long as they don't care about us. They glance at her great sword again, then back at her face. I pay on time. I don't lie about danger. I don't expect heroics. A thin smile. But I won't complain if they happen. Rellin waits, giving Kaelin space to decide without pressure. The wagon creaks softly in the breeze. Horses snort. Somewhere a town clock ticks, unlike it thrusts tomorrow. Kaelin Ironhart has found her next road if she wants it. Does she agree to guard the caravan, ask questions, negotiate terms, or walk away and let the road sort itself out without her? I mean, we can ask like how you suggested it, that we can, if they would agree, if we check the tower out before they reach it, as like a quote unquote security check. Mm, hold on. Yeah, if we don't return, they should know to be worried of it. Okay, that's a good one. Yes, I'm here for the notice. And I've been informed about the watchtower. Ooh. I would suggest that I go ahead and check the tower out in advance. I don't make it back 3 days. It's dangerous. So I wrote, I look at him, I assume, well, they always say they, but yes, I'm here for the notice and have been informed about the watchtower. I would suggest that I go ahead and check the tower out in advance. If I don't make it back in 3 days, you know it's dangerous. We'll see what he says. And also I need to ask for how much he's gonna pay. Kaelin lays it out plainly. No bravado. No promise she can't keep. That's a proposal involving risk, trust, and future consequences. She's asking Relin to accept her plan and act on the information if she does not return. For the charter, that agreement isn't automatic. Relin studies her for a long moment, weighing her words against the way she carries herself. The way Brindlewatch seems calmer than it did a few days ago. Okay, with no modifier. This roll will determine whether Relin agrees to the plan, how much trust he places in her judgment, whether he adds conditions, support, or warnings. Please be a good one. He's probably gonna be like, oh, if I have a low roll, he's probably gonna be like, nope, you're on your own. 14. Relin exhales slowly, then nods once. That's sensible, he says, like the word doesn't get enough use. Risky, but sensible. He folds his arms, thinking it through out loud. You go ahead. If you come back early, we adjust plans. If you come back late, but reading, we listen. A beat. If you don't come back in 3 days, I mark the tower as hostile and reroute south through the low road. Costs us time, but not lies. He reaches into the wagon and pulls out a small wooden token, carved with a simple knot. Take this, caravan mark. Not worth coin, but if you run into my people, they'll know you're not trouble. He presses it into her palm, then quieter. If the tower's lit because someone wants to be seen, they'll notice you. If it's lit because someone doesn't care who notices, he shrugs, then at least you won't be surprised. The deal is struck. No contract, no witnesses, just mutual respect and a shared understanding of what roads do to the unprepared. Kaelin Ironhart now has a destination, the old watchtower, a window, 3 days, a fallback plan that saves others even if she doesn't make it back. The road south awaits. Does Kaelin head out immediately, gather more information, prepare further, or do something else before leaving Brindlewatch? I mean, we already prepared, right? We got the, we got our supplies. The only thing we can do is, talk to the guard, well, the guards, the caravan guards. Or inspect the token that we got. The caravan mark. But if we only have 3 days, I would say I wouldn't linger that long. Because time is of the essence. True, Records Hall. Maybe Havren knows more about it. I head towards the Records Hall and Havren, if he knows anything about the old watchtower. Kaelin turns back towards the Records Hall and finds Havren where he always is, seated like a bookmark that never moves. She asks him about the old watchtower. That's a direct request for historical and potential obscure information. Exactly Havren's territory, but still subject to what he's willing and able to recall. No modifier? Okay. This roll will determine what Havren remembers versus what is written, whether the tower's history is mundane, forgotten, or deliberately ignored, whether any warnings come with the facts. 11. Havren leans back in his chair, fingers steepled, eyes drifting somewhere just past Kaelin as he sorts through memory rather than parchment. The watchtower, he says slowly. Yes, half a day south, on the old rise. Built when the road mattered more than it does now. Okay, so half a day travel. It's good. He taps the edge of his desk once. It was never a fortress, more a warning post. Signal fires, mirrors in daylight, meant to be seen. A pause. That matters. He doesn't reach for a book. That too matters. It was abandoned about 20 years ago. Not because it failed, because the border moved. The road quieted. The council decided it was cheaper to leave it standing than pull it down. Havern's gaze sharpens. There are no records of violence there. No battle, no siege, no haunting. A beat. Which means if lights are being seen now, they are new. He folds his hands. Travelers used to say the tower echoed strangely at night. Voices carrying farther than they should. Sounds climbing the stone. A faint dry smile. Most chalked it up to wind and boredom. He looks directly at Kaelin again. If someone has returned to it, they either want to watch or be watched. Another pause. Neither is comfortable. That's all he gives her. No warnings carved in red ink, no prophecy, just context. Kaelin Ironhart leaves knowing that the tower was never meant to be silent. And silence, once broken, rarely goes back the same way. She has what she came for. The road south waits, unrolled and patient. What do we do next? But that, my friends, is gonna be for next time. Because I've been talking for 2 hours and I feel it in my voice. And that's actually a good way to end, because next time we can start our new adventure up to the old watchtower. It might have a hidden entrance or an exit known to the town alone. Ooh, I'm gonna write that down. We can do that next time. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out. I've been having fun. I'm already triggered in like what the old watchtower is gonna be. It'll be next Sunday again, same time, same place, same character. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out. Feel free to like the video, subscribe if you haven't, and hit the notification bell. And I'll catch you guys next time. On Tuesday will be an uploaded video. No clue yet, I still need to record it. Oops. And then Friday I will do a live stream, and then Saturday as well. So 3 days after each other will be live streams. So I will catch you all next week. Bye.
Game's not over, it just begins.